That's why the machine behavior program is really needed, not just to bring in non-scientists and engineers, but also to help enhance the toolbox of the scientists and engineers.
We're evolving robots, and this was the craziest and coolest idea I'd heard of.
Something people are calling autonomous moralistic agents.
So you mean there are self-driving cars everywhere?
Because big data is not just about humans, of course.
The technology and the human have to work together.
Right now, our communication occurs online.
Algorithmic trading in financial markets.
Amplifying the biases.
How is the car going to make ethical decisions?
Usually when we think of censorship, we think about fear.
What are the mechanisms that will bring about cooperation?
How does it need to engage a person to empower that person to kind of become who they want to be, right? Not doing it for them, but supporting them so that they can do it for themselves.
I don't really like to think about the viewpoint that it's machines with lots of information and lots of computational capabilities kind of competing with people. I think I always like to really think more about machines representing people.
I continue to be interested in developments in AI and how it's going to change the world. And I kept hearing about the autonomous cars making morally charged decisions.
How do you make sure that the current data you have is not reflecting human biases in them, in ways that when a model learns from data, it's not going to be amplifying the biases we have in our society?
I think there are ways that algorithms can be used, to against censorship, and then there are ways that algorithms can be used for the purposes of censorship.
What if everything is, the internet is online, right? Then it's a completely different calculation, right? Because if that is the case, even your offline decisions are actually really mediated by what the online world wants, right?
Of course, we're being affected by the way that our machines learn. There's definitely a feedback process by which we design our machines to do something, and then the consequences that we now learn differently because of that.
Let's look at the dating example. So it's possible that with the availability of these apps, which you can carry with you, and this extraordinary variety and number of individuals that you come to believe are possible candidates for dates with you.
There are a lot of interesting research questions.
Also to this question of what is the role?
I don't know that AI has an answer to it.
In the long run, what would be good for the species and good for us? I prefer to be optimistic.
I'm certainly concerned. I'm kind of a realist and a bit of a pessimist.
It's a very interesting question to think about what's going to happen there.
These are questions that are very difficult to answer.
Whether or not this is good for democracy, I'm not sure.
That seems like a hell of a thing to do, right?
All of these things are augmenting people and the communication between people.
This is the moment that we need to be working on, trying to ensure the better future.